Okay, our next episode is on bones and some of the cool stories that these bones can tell us. So we talk about cookies. So this is a cookie. This attaches right back on to this dolphin bone. So that tells us that this was nearly an adult. These cookies, and our guest is back inspecting, these cookies fuse when the animal becomes an adult. They start fusing at the ends of the animal, either the tail or the head, and eventually fuse at the middle of the body. This is somewhere close to the middle, maybe the hind third or so of the animal. So this was still an immature juvenile when it died. These other bones, these have much more interesting issues with them. This is a a whale vertebra that just has a massive amount of arthritic growth. You can barely make out that this was the bottom of the whale vertebra due to the immense amount of arthritic abnormality. You can still see what was the base of a neural arch up top, but this poor critter had an extensive case of arthritis. That must have been incredibly painful in its life, and probably lived to a very old age. This is a cool piece of predation. Doesn't show up so well in the video, but you can see where this thing has just been gnawed on by sharks. My guess is due to the spacing and size, this might have been a modern tiger. It's more on one side of the bone than the other. Yes, it has still the dirt on it, because this could potentially be a scientific important specimen due to the amount of feeding damage, so I never did wash this and clean it. But this shows incredibly how much sharks would just gnaw on these bones to strip out every piece of flesh. This is a jawbone from a large baleen or filter feeding whale, most likely from the Yorktown Formation of Aurora, North Carolina. So that bone, Aurora, North Carolina. That bone, Aurora, North Carolina. That bone, Calvert Cliffs of Maryland.